The recruit shoved his hands into his pants to warm up his freezing fingers until they got feeling back. He kept using his helmet to scoop out rainwater from the trench, while outside the battlefield was already littered with bodies. The veteran in charge of cleaning up the battlefield stripped the clothes and shoes off the fallen soldiers. Then, it's packed up and shipped back to Germany. Bleach and rewash the clothes. Once it's dried, it's sent to the clothing factory, reworked and stitched, turning into a fresh new uniform. Once more, I found myself back in the soldiers' shoes. World War I broke out in 1914. Both German and French forces committed massive troops, and the battle was intense. Countless soldiers fell on the battlefield, so Germany started drafting students into the military. The principal passionately kicked off the rally on stage, saying, "You'll be wearing these uniforms, breaking through enemy lines in Flanders." The students in the audience were thrilled and many signed up for military service. Private Paul eagerly grabbed his uniform. He turned around and noticed the name tag on his uniform wasn't his. Right away, he went back to the officer and said, "This isn't mine." At that moment, the recruits had no idea their uniforms were already stained with blood. They were eager to step onto the battlefield. The next day, they marched to the battlefield singing, filled with excitement. Soon they reached the front lines, with artillery shells constantly exploding around them. The muddy, rain-soaked trenches shattered the recruits' romanticized view of the battlefield. At night, flares kept lighting up the sky one after another. Both sides were on edge, worried about a surprise attack. In the flares' glow, Private Paul spotted a wounded French soldier still breathing. He shot the French soldier dead right away, but there was no time to celebrate. He got hit by a bullet myself. Luckily, the bullet hit Paul's helmet, and he narrowly escaped. Soon after, the enemy started bombing again. The new recruits were so scared they all ducked into the bomb shelter. Cowering in the corner, shaking with fear, he finally grasped the harsh reality of war. The bombing went on all night. The next day, Paul's buddy pulled him out from under the wooden planks. He was the only one from the entire platoon who made it out alive. Paul got up and walked into the trench. Before he could catch his breath, a veteran ordered him to gather dog tags. Paul flipped a soldier over to grab his dog tags, only to realize the dead man was his childhood buddy. Paul broke down sobbing. At that moment, it hit him. War is just a massive meat grinder. After cleaning up the battlefield, German troops started to gather and charge forward. Under the intense fire of the French Maxims, the charging German soldiers were quickly mowed down. Lucky Paul made it to the enemy trench in one piece. He pulled the grenade from his belt, yanked the pin, and tossed it into the trench, taking out the enemy machine gunner. Then Paul charged into the trenches, engaging in close quarters combat with the enemy. They quickly took over the enemy's position. Faced with a table full of food, Paul dug in like there was no tomorrow. But suddenly, the table started shaking. A huge swarm of rats started to flee. The soldier rushed out to check what was going on. The battlefield fell silent. Then a massive tank rolled in.